Hi, it's Gretchen.
Hey Gretchen, it's Arthur.
Hi, Arthur. How are you?
Good. Are you available to talk right now for my interview?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, no problem. How are you today?
I'm pretty good. Yep.
Good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great.
How about you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, for sure.
Are you in Snohomish, or is that just your cell number?
No, I'm actually in Snohomish. I'm from Snohomish too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My friend Eric Ginder is from there.
Oh yeah? Sweet. It's such a beautiful place. It's really inspiring. That's for sure.
That's what I hear. Yep.
Yeah, so tell me about the killing drawings. How are those going?
The counting drawings are going well. They have evolved since you saw them, Arthur. I've been um, sort of thinking about a hybridized version of my own Pacific Northwest roots, and the Killing TV show falls right into that category where they shoot parts of it in Seattle and parts of it in Vancouver, BC. The protagonist resembles me. I feel a pull towards her in terms of sharing the same DNA, but she's just a stand-in for
Yeah.
me. But what I've been tracing in the drawings are references concerning posture and gesture, like tracking these and finding them at such a frequency that they become patterns. I'm thinking of her almost as like a Sasquatch figure where we view her, but she's also kind of a shadowy fringe figure. I've been thinking a lot about ways of storytelling and how when I present these as drawings, they're sequential, but there's like pauses in between. The way you pause a movie to get up and get a snack, or the way there are gray spaces between frames, really literally frames between action where nothing's happening, but there's still in that suspension lies suspense.
Yeah. And then I see in the photos that you sent me, the photo or the drawings are up against one another in almost a 3D like format. Is that how you're planning on displaying some of them, or?
I think I'll display them all on the wall in a grid pattern, pretty formal, but still referencing things like the findings of a naturalist or the way crime photos are displayed as a case progresses.
Yeah.
But I think those two I will display in a sculptural space on a points low to the ground, facing the other pinned drawings. And I think that was a really intuitive impulse, but I think it references landscape and topographical space, but also, again, the way frames come up against each other, but there are pauses in between, and sort of causing that space to be awkward, in presenting it in a physical way.
Yeah. And as far as like you share a studio, yeah. I think I remember you
Well,
saying that.
I have studio mates all around me. I have my own space, but it's like between me and my friend Jenny Heichman, there's just a partition.
Yeah. And as far as like formulating concepts and your ideas, do you work with like your friends and your team, or is that like a solo thing for you more?
Um, it is a solo thing. I think first of all, it's sort of me communing with, I definitely draw through media, and it's encounter-based. So it's me communing with what I encounter, what really jumps out at me, and what I feel attracted to. It's really been a conversation between me and whatever that element that I've encountered is. But I do seek people out, and especially my studio mates. I think it's no coincidence that we've all gravitated towards each other, and I I do run ideas by them or ask them, pull them in and ask them to look at things. And I, of course, am very influenced by whatever they're making.
Yeah, I found that it's kind of hard for me when I'm sharing ideas with other people. I get like oh, I get sorry, I just lost you for a sec, but I get really influenced by them, and
Uh-huh.
I'm afraid I'm almost gonna lose myself. Do you think of that when you're talking with your
I do.
studio
I
mates?
do. I think that's a really important question for me, too. I really need time on my own to listen to myself because the impulses that I have and the things that sort of happen in that space between desire and encounter that I decide are valid, have weight in the world for me. I need to spend time with that in order to follow it. And if I'm influenced away from it by somebody else, that could very well and probably is based on their own agenda and their own practice. And I really need to listen to those impulses
Right.
that I experience, and I need to know what's important to me, what feels urgent to me.
Yeah. And I guess with working with like a TV show like that, it's easy to get lost in it and get transported to that world, and you're kind of just there by yourself. So I can see how that could help in a way.
It totally helps, and I think you're reminding me that I think someone stopped by my studio really early on just like to borrow a tool, and they were like, oh my God, it's kind of tacky, Gretchen, that you're depicting a TV show. And I still think about that, but I knew immediately to feel protective and to say, first of all, to delineate, this isn't a studio visit. You know, you were invited in to get a tool.
Yeah.
And also, that I'm seeing things in these frames outside of the provided narrative, you know, that I'm deconstructing and reconstructing into my own narrative using this DNA, this material and template. Yeah, I'm not depicting the story that they intended. I just see something in it that applies to my own storytelling.
Right. Have you thought about maybe contacting the killing or anything?
Well, that's an interesting proposition. Vita Saad, the writer and producer, I believe she's the producer. She, you know, I've continued to research her, and she did some writing in a book called To Be Real, which is like post-feminist writing.
Yeah.
And it was beautifully framed. I loved it, and I would like to find out more about her and see more of her work. But that is a really good idea, Arthur, to pursue that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then have you finished the TV show, right? All the series on Netflix and everything?
Well, there's only 2 seasons so far. I've heard rumors of a third, but AMC that was carrying them, I heard canceled them.
Oh, so is there a next TV show for you, or is there someplace this is going for you? Do you see in the future, maybe?
Well, I think I always draw through media, and I'm always examining the mediated image and then translating it. And for me, lately, it's been the Charles Atlas film, The Legend of Lee Bowery.
Mm-hmm.
And then also just Lee Bowery as a figure in general. It's about gesture and posture again. It always is. Like I did a series on Nirvana and Cobain based on YouTube video stills, and that was based on gesture and posture, which happened with such frequency it became pattern.
And drawing.
Yeah, what's that?
Drawing is your media of choice, yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to do more sculptural things. I think that's a longer process for me. In my graduate studio at Rutgers, I actually worked in across disciplines through photography, drawing, and sculpture, and it was all based on sounds. It was sort of reverse anthropology, like repurposing things that had already had a life in the world. and I'm still working that way by taking screen grabs of paused video footage.
Right.
But yeah, I've lately started working in clay, but the clay work definitely changed me. It worked on me, but I haven't gotten it to do yet what I want it to do, or I guess more accurately, I haven't figured out what clay is willing to do.
Right. Sculpture, I like went from a three-dimensional focus in sculpture to a two-dimensional painting focus, and it was so much, I had so much more fun with it because I could do it more, you know? And you can get your ideas out there.
What was the last sentence you just said?
I could do it more. I could paint easier than I could sculpt. I could paint at home and like you can draw at home on your laptop, and you can like use clay at home too, but it's messier, it's different.
And clay really needs to be babied and babysat, and it's still pretty mysterious to me, and it was a very physical process for me, for sure.
And so you said you're having some of your drawings in the Seattle U Hadreen Gallery on March 8th. So is that just some of your drawings? Is that just a show with you, or?
No, it's a group show based on a piece of writing that Matthew Offenbacher produced a few years ago called Green Gothic. And I believe the show at the Hadreen is also titled Green Gothic. It's a group show, and it's curated by Amanda Manitak, who is the new curator of the Hadreen. I think I can pull that up for you and make sure I'm giving you an accurate depiction.
Okay.
But it's based on a text in which Matthew Offenbacher actually leads up to introducing some work that I did as a solo show called Hello, that was dealing with these Cobain stills. The show is called Green Gothic. And it has 6 artists in it, including Charles Mudebe, who's an awesome writer. You can see his writing in The Stranger. And it says that these artists respond to an essay with this title by painter Matthew Offenbacher, in which he addresses concepts specifically intertwined with contemporary Northwest identity, landscape industry, the romanticism of Ruskin, decay, regrowth, monsters lurking in the shadows, and the sublime. So it's like landscape is destiny, or for me, it's like the human body as its own topography, as a site for death, like toxic site, and then sort of reforming.
Right. Well, I'm excited to check out the show on March 8th. I'm going to let you get back to your day. I think I got everything I need from you. It was great talking with you again. Yeah, I can't wait to see your stuff.
Thanks a lot, and good luck with this. Please let me know what you do with it and how it's going with you, will you?
Yeah, I definitely will. I'll send you a link to it for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Arthur, you have a great day.
You too.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, bye now.
Bye-bye.
It's so awkward.